you today? I am dealing with some seeds today at my brand new kitchen island, which I put together last week, and it's a lot of fun. I love having this workspace here. Anyway, today I wanted to talk a little bit about seeds. I am no expert. Do not take everything I say as the end-all be-all expert level information. I'm a hobbyist and I'm a real novice when it comes to seeds. I am not really very successful with seeds, but I'm going to try to change that this year. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what I have going on. So as you may have known, I've been really watching a lot of YouTube videos, and there's a couple of channels that I really love. One of them is Garden Answer. That's Laura over at Garden Answer. She's actually going in to deliver her baby today. Not that I know her or anything. She has no idea who I am. But anyway, Garden Answer is a wonderful, wonderful YouTube channel. I highly recommend it if you are a gardener in the United States. I also have been watching a couple of cut flower farms video channels. So there's one called Flower Hill Farm that's in New York, and I've been following her. And then a couple of others randomly. I've been looking at different things. So they're all talking about seed starting, and so that's what I'm going to talk about today too. So first of all, I want to talk about what I got out of my garden last year. So this bag is full of seeds that I cut off of my garden plants last year. And so let's just talk about that. Okay, it's a bit of a challenging mess, but by the way, hey look, I'm not sweaty, I'm not dirty, I have eye makeup on and earrings, and I have showered today. It's a bonus day for you watching me not looking like a hot mess. These are foxgloves seed heads. Now, the reason I put them in this bag upside down is so that the seeds could just fall out naturally into this bag. And I'm just going to give it a shake. And you can see, you see the seed heads on this plant. You know what? This isn't foxglove. Ignore what I said. This is not foxglove. This is balloon flower or bellflower. One of the two. Either balloon flower or bellflower. I'll look it up and let you know later. Anyway, so these are the seed heads on the balloon flower, or maybe bellflower. And they have these little pods up here that are really pretty. But after those all shook out, let me show you what's in here. Let me get a white plate and I'll dump them out and I'll show you. I'm back. Okay, a white plate and all these balloon or bellflower seeds. And there's still some in there stuck in the folds of the paper bag. We'll go with it. All right, and then there's a lot of leaves here too, but okay. Can you see those seeds? They're tiny. They're like smaller than sesame seeds. See all of them? This right here, it looks like sand, but those are all the seeds off of those bell or balloon flowers. I don't know which one it is. So I'm gonna discard these leaves, get rid of that, separate the wheat from the chaff, where the wheat in this case are the seeds and the chaff in this case are the leaves. And then I'll have all these seeds that are so tiny. I mean, they are smaller than a flea. And so then I can share these with whoever would like some. There's tons. Yes, there are tons. Hi, Vicki. Tons of these seeds, way more than I'd ever need. These also, because I left them to go to seed in the garden, there's probably a lot of these seeds in the ground around them as well, and they'll probably self-seed in the garden, and I'll probably have sprouts of this coming up, and I just hope that I don't mistake it for a weed. So that's what's in there. Let me just set that aside. Vicki, I hope you're not supposed to be working. Oh no, today's a holiday. Maybe you have today off. Oh, that's cool. All right, so that's one kind, and we'll put that bag there so that I remember that that's what that goes with. Okay, now I also have in here zinnia seeds, and look, I was smart. I labeled them when I put them in here. These zinnia seeds, oh my gosh. Let me get another plate. I'll be right back. Okay, so these zinnia seeds are, I took these off of the plants that I planted last year in the garden. So when the flower heads dried up, I just cut them off and stuck them in this bag to dry. So this is mixed. I don't know what kind is what kind, but there's a lot of them in there, all these flower heads. Okay, so like for example, here is one flower head off of a zinnia. Vicki has today off, that's good news. All right, so that's a flower head, and then the seeds, that's what all of this is. These are all the seeds of the zinnia. Well, some of it is seed and some of it is old leaves. So a zinnia seed is kind of this long, skinny, papery thing. Can you see that? So I have all of these. So these are just different mixed seed varieties. Like this is the leaf of the zinnia, so I'll just pull that away. But underneath there are the seeds down at the bottom of those flower petals. So again, those are the seeds. Can you see that? I don't know if it's focused or not. Yeah, there. Okay. So look at all these zinnias. Who would like some zinnia seeds? They're pink, magenta, maroon, maybe some orange. Probably not very many orange, probably not very many red, because I don't care for red and orange in the garden. But look, off of that one seed head, there's probably 100 or more seeds right there. So, but they're all mixed. I don't know what varieties they are. I am so happy to share those. I can mail them anywhere. So if you want some, you let me know. What else do I have in here? Oh, now these are some magenta pom-pom zinnias that I specifically saved because they were my favorite flower form in the zinnia patch last year. So they're magenta colored and they form the big pom-pom style. And so I can share these seeds with anybody who wants some of them too. Okie dokie. And also in here I have purple baptisia. Now these grow to be big shrubs. They are deciduous, so they die back to the ground every fall, and then they regrow in the spring. But a mature plant will get to be 3 or 4 feet in diameter and tall, and they put off these beautiful stalks. They're called false indigo or baptisia. They grow native in the American prairie land. So they have these seed pods on them, and then inside the seed pod are the seeds. This one had 5 seeds inside. I have never tried to grow these from seed, but because they're native and because they grow wild in the prairie, one must assume that it's not terribly hard to germinate these. So I'm going to do a little bit of research about how to germinate these seeds and how to grow them from seed. But look how many seed pods I have. If every one of these has 5 seeds in it, then I've got plenty. I could share 5 seeds with 150 friends. So would you like some baptisia? This is the purple kind. There's that. And then also, oh my gosh, all of these. Oh, right. Forgot about that too. Okay. Let's see. Here's some more zinnia seeds that I had saved at one point in the summer. I don't know what kind those are, but they're more zinnias. I'll put them over there. Here's some single magenta zinnias. So if you want specifically the single kind, I have those. All right, here's some foxglove seeds. I showed a Facebook Live last summer when I was collecting these. These are about the size of a grain of sand in there. Maybe salt, like table salt. That's how small they are. These are white or creamy white foxgloves. If you'd like some of those, I can share. Columbine, look how many of those. Tons of columbine seeds. I mean, this is enough to satisfy, I don't know, 1,000 people's desire to grow columbine from seed. So many. Okay, that's what I collected from the garden last year. So I'm happy to share this with anybody who would like some. If you want some, you just let me know and I will stick them in the mail in an envelope and send them your way. Happy to share. Okay, what else do I have as far as seeds go? I have a whole collection of seed packets. way more than I need. So I'm happy to share any of these as well. First of all, I have no idea where this came from. It is a California poppy, purple. There's a chance that I ordered this last spring at the beginning of the pandemic. There's also a chance that somebody sent this to me as a gift and I forgot who it was. If it was you, thank you, and I'm sorry I forgot. Excuse me. Excuse me. There's also a chance that this came free as a gift with an order that I made. But it's from the Vermont Wildflower Farm in Charlotte, Vermont, and I don't recall purchasing things from there, but maybe I did. California purple poppies. All right, and then these are the seed packets that I used last year. So these are 2020 seeds. Excuse me, that I have leftovers. I have some Cosmos Candy Stripe. I have Dwarf Cosmos. These are the zinnias that I planted last year. I still have lots in this packet, and you see how many seed heads I have. So I have no business buying any more zinnia seeds, but wait, you'll find out. Okay, so these zinnia seeds left over, plus the ones I collected. I have some lettuce seeds that should be still good. Cilantro, basil. All right, here's some more zinnia. These are the giant double enchantress. These are the big pom-pom magenta colored ones that I was talking about that I collected seeds from the garden last year. So I also still have some of these seeds left. And again, that's what they look like, these little flat papery things. Okay, I have Bluebird Forget-Me-Not, I have Lunaria, and Echinacea purple and white coneflower mixes. Now, last year I did plant these and they did come up as seedlings, but I was unsuccessful in transferring these to the garden. So these three I will likely try again. Lunaria is also called a money plant. Some people call it other things. I think we talked about this last year at this time, or maybe a little later in the spring. The point of growing this, in the springtime, they have really pretty purple flowers on them. And then in the fall, the seed heads look like white coins. And they're see-through and they kind of glow in the moonlight or in the sunlight. So these are, they didn't spill. These are really good plants and they grow wild and native here. So I'm hoping that I can get these to work. So, and the Echinacea, I love coneflowers, who doesn't? And Forget-Me-Not I love in the spring as well. So I'm going to try these again. So those are last year's seeds. Now, not every seed is good from year to year, but a lot of them are. So, you know, there are some kind of seeds that you can keep a really long time, like 10 years or more. At least according to the YouTube channels that I've been watching. But not every seed can last that long. So some of them may not be viable, but most of them probably will. All right, and then because I didn't have enough seeds left over from last year, last year when the pandemic started, in March, I made an order from, oh, look at that, from the Vermont Wildflower Farm. That's where that one came from. Silly me. So I made a big order of seeds in the spring because I thought, okay, we're in a pandemic. This is going to be the year of the garden. And so I ordered all the seeds to start, and I was going to do perennials and some annuals, and it was going to be gorgeous, and I was just going to have a ton of fun with it. So I made that order in March. These seeds arrived in August. That's how backed up they were with their manpower for getting their mail orders taken care of. So I have all of these seeds that were packaged in 2020, but I didn't receive them until late summer. So I didn't do anything with them. I just set them aside, kept them inside, and now it's time for me to pay attention to them and get them started. So let me just tell you what I have here. The pictures on them don't match what's inside. So that's one downfall of this particular wildflower company, is that their seed packets are not specific to the variety. They just have a label on the front that says what the variety is. So I'm not really a fan of that kind of packaging. But they were inexpensive. But they came 4 months late. So I don't know if I would recommend this company or not. Anyway, so what I have here, I have a lot of packets. I have Lily of the Valley, which Sally Kelly, thank you for giving me some Lily of the Valley plants last year. I've got them out in the garden and I'm hoping they come up and really make some beautiful plants. But here are some more that I can plant for myself. Jacob's Ladder. This is a shade plant that puts out these kind of stems that kind of form like a fountain shape, and then each of the stems is covered with little leaves that come in pairs all the way up the stem. And then they also put out flowers. I think they're purple or blue. And so that's why I grow that, because of the leaves that last all year and look really nice in the shade, but also the purple flowers. Trillium, great white trillium. This is a woodland plant. I'm hoping to get some going over here on the south garden. Wild ginger, you would say, why would you ever want to plant wild ginger? Because it's an invasive plant. Why would you do that to your garden? But I've got a lot of spots out there on that south hill that are just dirt, and they don't really look really nice. So I'm hoping I can get something green growing over there. And wild ginger does have beautiful green leaves, so I'm hoping that that will get that to work. Foam flower is a kind of plant. I think it's called tiarella. And it does well in the shade as well, and in the woods again. So a lot of these I bought for the southern woodland hill. Dutchman's breeches. I can't remember what those are. I'm sure they're a shade plant. I'm sure they're a woodland plant. Cardinal flower, same thing. I don't remember. I'll have to look them up. Bloodroot. I think this is a ground cover, and I think that it does well in shade or part sun or full sun. I can't remember exactly. Again, this packet isn't specific to the variety, so I can't just read the back and see what it says like I could for a different seed company. So, but I think Bloodroot is a ground cover. Nodding pink onion. This is an allium that puts onions and alliums. Some of them are ornamental, some of them are edible. But they all have this flower that it looks like a pom-pom, and this one is pink nodding, which means that it's going to come up the stem, and then the flower will hang over like a little nodding onion flower head. All right, so pink nodding onion. And then this is Nature's Choice Wildlife Habitat Mix. No idea what's in here. I'll probably plant them up in a flat and see what comes up, and who knows, they'll probably die knowing how I do seeds. Hopefully not. Okay, Johnny Jump Ups. These are like little violets or violas. Viola? Is that a flower or a musical instrument? Violets? Violas? Johnny Jump Ups. They're little petunia looking, violet looking things. Here's some more forget-me-nots. So these are perennial forget-me-nots, and these are annual forget-me-nots. So I've got two different kinds here. Foxglove. I don't know what color these are, but I'll try them out. Chinese forget-me-not, Sally Kelly. Again, last year she gave me so many plants out of her garden. It was really generous of her. Chinese forget-me-nots are a similar kind to the other. They have a different leaf structure. They look a little bit different on the leafy part of the plant, and the flowers of them are just slightly different from the annual forget-me-not. Soapwort. Somebody told me that this is a good one to try, and I can't remember what it looks like, and I'll be Googling it. So again, all of these plants I need to try. They're mostly set up, I bought them for the shady south side hill, but some of them might be sun lovers, in which case they'll go out on the front corner of the property or in the front yard. Also, the shady ones can go over here on the side yard in the back of the house as well. So I have all those. Okay, and so then you're saying, Jenny, you got a lot of seeds there, so surely you didn't buy any new seeds in 2021, did you? No, you didn't. Well, maybe I did. Okay, so, they're so cheap. I was at the Dollar Tree the other day, and they have seed packets there for $1. So for 25 cents, I got these seed packets. And so there might be some repeats from this pile, but honestly, I kind of had forgotten about this pile. Sue me. And so anyway, so at the Dollar Tree, I got some Snapdragon mixed colors, African Daisy, which is a yellow daisy type flower with a brown center. It's not quite the same as a Rudbeckia, which is a Black-Eyed Susan, which is the Maryland state flower. These are more like Shasta daisies than the Rudbeckia. The Rudbeckia has the cone in the center. This has more of like a daisy center. I got some Alyssum, which is a great ground cover annual. This is the white one, but it also comes in blue and pink. I got some zinnias. Can't have enough zinnias. Bachelor buttons, I got these because I like the colors and also they're good for dried flowers. And so I thought, well, if I could get these to grow, this is the influence that the YouTube channel about cut flower farms. I should stop watching cut flower farm YouTube videos because it makes me want to grow all the things. Anyway, you can harvest these and dry them and they keep their color really nice, apparently. I got some marigolds. You didn't hear me say marigolds before now, so yay, this isn't a repeat. Marigolds, I usually don't like the orangey ready ones, but the yellowy ones I do. And I like the Flower Farm, and they're a little bit of a nostalgic plant, so I got them from that perspective. I remember when I was a kid, like less than 10 years old, I think my mom grew them, but I know that my next door neighbor mom grew them on her back porch, and I would take the dead flowers apart and find the seeds, and it was like amazing that I could just like, wow, look at that. There's all these seeds here. It was like a miracle of nature to me. I was like 7 or 8 years old. Anyway, so marigolds, I got some of those. Oh, look, more zinnias. Who wants some zinnia seeds? Okay, and then also, yeah, there's more. I got some, I got from Lowe's. So these were like $1.78, $1.98, $1.58, $1.59. There's one for $2.49. These, 25 cents each. These, $2 to $2.50 each. All right, columbine. These are double, so they're special. So it's okay because these columbines are Biedermeier type, which are beautiful, mixed colors, but they're not double. These are double. So they're not the same. They're really not the same. It's okay to have them. And then foxglove mixed colors. All I had so far was white, so these are mixed colors. So it's okay to buy more foxgloves. Here are some double mixed color English daisies. I didn't have any English daisies yet, so it's okay to buy this. More snapdragons? Did I already buy snapdragons? Shh. I did, but, oh wait, okay, let's see. These are tall mixed colors and these are dwarf. So they're not the same, so it's okay. All right, these are amaranth. I've never had these, but they put up a tall plant and then they drop down these little feathery looking pink droopy dooby things. And so I'm hoping that this will be fun. Marigold Petite Yellow, again, a different kind of marigold. Is not the same as the other packet. They're different, I promise. I got some lettuce seeds for microgreens, some basil, some radishes. Radishes grow in like 21 days. You can harvest radishes. I think that's what it is. It might be 28 days. 21 to 35 days to harvest on radishes. So like if you have a small child that you want to teach about seed starting, radishes are such a great thing to start with. Because they germinate in like a half a second. And so immediately, like a couple of days, they'll germinate and your kid will be like amazed that they planted this and now it's growing. And then in 3 or 4 weeks, you can harvest these. And I don't know if kids really like radishes, but maybe you could teach your kid to like radishes. Okay, and then the last one I got was larkspur. I had bought some seeds 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years ago, I think, that I thought were larkspur, but they turned out to not be larkspur. So this is the first larkspur that I have. And then Vicky says that I'm seed obsessed. Well, okay, but they're only $1 or 25 cents or free out of the garden. So it's really not all that bad. Oh, and then there's this stash here that I forgot to tell you about. These here. I found these in the cabinet out on the porch outside, which is where I stash all of my like gardening gloves and fertilizer and pruners and things like that, and all my seed packets from years past. So this was last year's seed packets. So these must have been 2 years ago seed packets. So let's see what's in here. These were a gift from a friend and I haven't planted them yet. So they are from 2019. Oh, I should have planted them last year. I've got some Blazing Star, which is liatris, which are beautiful in my garden. I have them in a few different places in the garden. I love these. So they're great for cut flowers and they're just great in the garden too. So they're purple, spiky, feathery things. Love them, liatris or Blazing Star. And then here's some lance leaf tick seed or Coreopsis lanceolata. These are yellow and they're great pollinator flowers. They're also native. All 4 of these packets are native seeds, so they're going to do really well. Here's a hibiscus moschutos. a swamp rose mallow. So I don't know if it's hardy. It's probably not hardy, but it might reseed itself since it's a native seed. So swamp rose mallow, native to wetlands and marshes. I might not have enough moisture in my garden to make these really work, but we'll see. Tropical looking leaves, 5-foot petaled flowers. They grow, 5 to 7 feet tall. Wow. Yeah, so those are fun. And then more purple coneflowers, just the native Echinacea purpurea. So these are just the basic native, wonderful purple coneflowers that grow out in the wild. And the pollinators, as far as coneflowers go, the bees and the butterflies really do prefer the native species over any improved varieties. So, I mean, there are a lot of kinds of coneflowers out there now that have been improved and improved and improved. But the pollinators, they really prefer the native ones. So it's really nice to have natives in your garden as well as the more ornamental ones. Okay, I also out there, I found these gladiolus bulbs. These came from the Dollar Tree 2 years ago. I have zero hope that these will actually flower. I'm sure they're just dried up and dead, these bulbs. They're actually corms. But I'm going to toss them in some dirt and see, because, right, I mean, I've already spent the $1 each on them 2 years ago, so I might as well stick them in some dirt and see if they'll flower. And then last but not least, well, probably least, yes, last and least, these are lettuce seeds from 2017. Oh, these are the delphiniums. Oh, you know what it was? I saw a plant in a garden one time, and I said, what is that? I have to have it in my garden. And I did the plant app ID thing on my phone, and it said it was a delphinium. And I was like, oh, yes, delphinium. So that year, I bought these delphinium seeds. Well, they came up, and they do look like what's on this front thing, but what's on this front thing doesn't look like the plant that I found in that garden that I wanted to identify. What I really wanted was larkspur, which is in the delphinium family if you look at the Latin name, but it's a different kind of plant, certainly a different kind of leaf. The one I saw in the garden was larkspur, and the one that I bought was delphinium. These, by the way, are the delphinium that bloom for me in October. I don't know why it says it blooms in October. On here it says, it doesn't say when it blooms. Says it takes 120 days from germination, but mine didn't bloom until October every year, so I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, I'm not going to plant any more of those delphiniums. Oh, hey, I just found out. This thing that was the first on the live, this plate full of dead plants and a bajillion seeds, these things, they're Canterbury bells, and I know that because here's the seed packet from them from 3 years ago. Campanilla de Canterbury, that's, I guess, Spanish. Cup and saucer mix. So Canterbury bells, the Latin name for those, I believe, are campanula, but I'm not sure. Anyway, that's not what they look like when they bloom, though. So maybe that's not this. Don't know. Here's more delphinium. These I don't think I ever got in the garden. Here are some heirloom miniature roses. These certainly never worked for me in the garden. I don't know what happened to those. Maybe I'll try to plant those again this year. Look, radishes, never opened. I guess I didn't plant any radishes that year. Here's some lettuce and here's some spinach seeds. So these 2017, they're 4 years old now, so they may or may not germinate for me. Some of them probably will, some of them probably won't. I have so many seeds here. So if I have said a plant that you want some of these seeds, let me know, because certainly, even if I only had 5 of these packets, I've got 50 seed packets or more here. Even if I only had, say, 5 seed packets, there's no way I could use all the seeds because they come so many in the packet that I would never use all those plants. So if you heard me say the type of a plant that you like and you want to try growing, let me know. Just say, Jenny, can you send me a few of those such and so seeds? And I will be happy to do that. Oh, by the way, here also, I bought this at the Dollar Tree a couple of years ago. I didn't ever plant it. These again are zinnias. Who wants some zinnias? These work really well. This box of zinnias I did plant 1 year and they really, really, really work. Zinnias are so foolproof, really. So that's what I have. At the Dollar Tree, I bought this box. It comes with this lid, you know, for $1. And I thought, this will be where I store my seed packets. But as I look at them now, this isn't big enough. I'll have to get a second one. Anyway, that's what I have to talk about today, seeds. And so behind me, you might have seen already, I bought the first ever, for me, grow light. I've never used grow lights before, so I bought one. This was at Lowe's. This kit is like the lowest end kind of kit that you can get. If I like it, if it doesn't become a pain in the booty, I'll maybe buy some better quality light kits for another time. And then I did pick up a new seed starting tray. This comes with the cell pack and the clear biodome and the bottom tray to put things in. So yeah, so I need to do an inventory, write down what I have, look up their needs for how to start them. Some of them need to be cold treated, so that's called stratification, and what that does is it mimics nature. So some of these native seeds where they grow on the plant, then they fall to the ground, and then they overwinter, and then they grow new next year. Those plants need to be stratified, so that means put them in a cool location, like in the refrigerator or even the freezer for some amount of time. And you can Google and find out which of these varieties need that and which of them don't. Typically, I think, although I'm no expert, don't quote me on this, typically the native plants that normally, like if you say on the back of the package that you can seed straight into the garden, you can sow them direct sow, that means that they typically are self-seeders and they do need to be stratified. And some of the more improved varieties that are really hothouse flowers that, you know, our biologists and botanists have created for us from the natives into these specialized varieties, they may or may not need to be cold treated. But the ones that are native that usually self-seed, they probably do. So certainly like tulips and daffodils and some other spring bulbs need that kind of treatment. And I think some of the spring flowering perennials, maybe we should probably expect that they would. So I'm going to do that research today or tomorrow. I'm going to make my list, see what I have, look up which needs to be put into the refrigerator for a couple of weeks before I start the seeds. And then I'll make my schedule for when I'm going to get things started in some trays to get going. And it'll be a fun thing to keep you busy in the January months. I know in some parts of the country it's too soon to be thinking about making your seedling starts, but in other warmer parts where your frost date is a little earlier, it could be time. So what's happening with you? Are you going to do any seeds this year? Do you want any of my seeds? I'm really happy to share them. I have way too many. Let me know and have a great day. Oh, by the way, today's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Let's all take a minute to reflect on equality and love and brotherhood of man and all that good stuff. And it's a National Day of Service as well, so if you can find a way to get out and serve your community, that would be awesome. If you can't make it happen today, that's fine. Do it another time. Find a way to contribute, and let's all be a better world together. Have a great day, everybody. And now that's the end of my video, except because it's on the other side of the island, I actually have to walk around before I can turn it off. So that's a little bit awkward. So much for a great ending. Okay, bye.